Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to all of you and all my esteemed colleagues for being here to talk about this very important district. My name is Amelia Sykes, and I represent Ohio's 13th Congressional District located in Northeast Ohio. And after decades of splitting my community into 4 or more separate congressional districts for the benefit of partisan gerrymandering, the current configuration of Ohio's 13th district keeps the state's 4th largest county whole, brings together the 5th and 8th largest cities in the state. It includes townships, cities, villages, rural, agricultural, and suburban areas. That is the most evenly divided congressional district based on the 2024 congressional vote in the entire country, where just over 100 votes separated Vice President Harris and President Trump. I'll say that again. Ohio's 13th congressional district is the most evenly divided in the country by the 2024 presidential vote, and it is one of the most competitive in the country. It is exactly what you think of when you're looking for a competitive congressional district that could swing from one party to another. And it's the kind of district that voters in Ohio demanded after a 2018 anti-gerrymandering ballot initiative was supported by nearly 75% of the citizens of the state of Ohio, gaining a majority vote in all 88 counties of the state. The citizens of Ohio wanted to enshrine fair districts into our state's constitution. Ohioans who were fed up with partisan gerrymandering made their voices heard at the ballot box, and in an attempt to discourage gerrymandering in the process, the state constitution required, unlike my other colleagues, a mid-decade redraw if the maps were not passed in a bipartisan manner. So nonetheless, even though voters demanded reform and bipartisanship, Ohio Republicans refused and ignored the people of the great state of Ohio. And in 2021, congressional maps were passed by partisan lines, on partisan lines. Even more enraging, the Republican majority Ohio State Supreme Court ruled all of the state legislative maps unconstitutional, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, not 6 times, 7 times. That's right. The Ohio Republican Supreme Court ruled the state's maps unconstitutional 7 times, yet Ohio Republicans ran out the clock and refused to redraw the maps. So today, Ohioans are currently living under unconstitutional maps. Now, like many of my colleagues you've heard from, we're preparing for a political process that is going to be ripe with political warfare and gamesmanship. But where Ohio's 13th district is a little bit different than my colleagues, this is a district with a 90% white electorate. So this fall, the Ohio General Assembly and the Redistricting Commission will have to redraw Ohio's already unconstitutional congressional maps because of undue partisan gerrymandering, seemingly kicking off this whole redistricting battle. We do say we are the heart of it all in Ohio, but we did not want to be a part of this. Unsurprisingly, but still disappointing, Ohio Republicans from our United States Senator to state House leaders have said that they intend to gerrymander the state even more. They're looking for any opportunity for Republican politicians to choose their voters instead of allowing voters to choose who they would like to represent them. Gerrymandering was supposed to be a relic of the past in Ohio when voters adopted the constitutional amendment to end partisan gerrymandering. But sadly, the citizen-led effort to improve our government has been co-opted by extremists to make gerrymandering even worse. And as Republicans double down, they are making their intentions known that they do not care about the Constitution and they do not care about the people of Ohio. As speculation swirls about what the final maps will look like in Ohio and how they may impact current incumbents, I want to make it very clear that this fight is not about me. This fight is about the people of the state of Ohio having their voices heard and getting the representation that they vote for and for the representation that they deserve. I'm focused on advocating for my constituents. But if you've heard the news, Republicans are focused on me. They've called me out by name, they've targeted this district, and they do not want to see me representing Ohio's 13th district. But most importantly, what they are saying is that they don't want Ohio's 13th congressional district represented by someone who listens to them, who values them, who shows up for them, and who fights for them. And the voters of Ohio's 13th Congressional District elected me, in spite of all of the odds, to fight for lower costs, put more money in their pockets, and to keep our children and families safe. When I was elected to Congress, I said that it may be my name on the ballot, but when I win, I'm taking all of our voices to Washington. And I will continue that work. And I'm doing that work today, connecting my community to the federal government and ensuring that government works for everyone, not just the privileged few. I want to leave you with something that Akron's native son, LeBron James, summed up about the ethos of our community in this following quote. He said that in Northeast Ohio, nothing is given, everything is earned. Republicans are attempting to steal congressional districts, and one in the Northeast of Ohio, without earning the vote of the people. Republicans are attempting to get an unearned majority in the United States House of Representatives. Now, in my neck of the woods, we call this cheating. And that's what they're doing, cheating. They are cheaters. They cannot win. They cannot win on their merits. They cannot win with this one big, ugly bill. They cannot win with the way in which they are increasing costs. They cannot win with the way that they are running this government. And so they are going to cheat. And we are a big sports community. You have the Football Hall of Fame, you got LeBron James and Steph Curry. We know how to be athletic, we know how to compete, and we know how to win, but we do not accept cheating. When our congressional district was cut up into several congressional districts, we lacked a cohesive voice to advocate for our needs, to make someone available to the public, and we did not have the connection to resources that we needed. And as this redistricting process plays out, my hope is that legislators and both parties in the state of Ohio work together to put forward a map that allows voters to choose their elected officials and not the other way around. But most importantly, this is about fairness, this is about liberty, and this is about justice. And it is important for every single person who is engaged in this fight to remember why it is important. This is about ensuring that everything is earned and not given, especially a U.S. House of Representatives majority to an unpopular Republican extremist. I yield back.